Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of myself reading Laravel code, the framework code. And last time we stopped here in the bootstrap. We read until the configure method, and the configure method is using an application builder to configure itself, the application configure itself. And we stopped in the with routing. So let's take a quick look at what's being done here, because the objective of today is to take a look, taking a look at the handle request, and I'm pretty sure we will spend some time on this, but let's first see what's happening with routing here. So this is in the application builder, because application configured just instantiate a new application builder and returns it. Of course, it does. It calls some methods and then returns. And then this bootstrap app here just keeps configuring. So with routing, it's here, right? And you can see it accepts a lot of parameters. And I think that here, yeah, we're just using named parameters. So it's just basically, it doesn't matter the order, because you can name the value here. It's to be used in the web, yeah, here in the web parameter, and commands, health, they all are here, right? Yeah. So that's, I think PHP 8 started this. You can name the parameters. And in this case, it's just passing two paths. So the web routes, right? And the commands. So the commands also have routes. Routes console PHP. Artisan command spire function. Oh, okay. So what's that? It's artisan inspire, something like that. Okay, so the other artisan commands, they are not handled by that. They're probably handled or registered elsewhere, right? Because here it's really the root, it's just for the inspire. Okay, and the roots web, of course, we all know that. Well, if you of course worked with Laravel before, but that's where we implement our app roots. Not implement, but we define them, right? So that's what's being passed here. And let's just take a look at overlook here. So there's a long conditional here that, right, it could be maybe create a private method to just make it more explicit what's happening here. But okay, if it's no using a string web or is array web or a string API is array API, right? So if this is null or it's not null, then this won't execute, right? And if this using is null, which in this case here it is, right? Because we are not passing any using, then we will start checking, is a string web? And then I think it's all ors. So if any condition here is true, then it will execute this. And of course, yeah, it's wrapped around. Oh, okay, not all of those. So just the ones until the callback check. So if any of these conditions are true, or there is a callback for then then we execute this. So let's just take a look at our case here. So we are passing web commands in health. Okay, if it's string web, which in our case it is, right? It's a string with the current directory, current working directory, plus the root file path. So it will execute this code, right? And of course we can check with this, but let's just, okay. And what this code is doing, build routing callback. Create a routing callback for the application. Sorry. So it accepts, in our case, I think it's a string, right? The web, yeah. Oh, it does everything at the same time. So that's why it's checking the web, the API, health, and yeah, just that. Okay, and then of course, so it will build a callback, but what's a routing callback? Let's just check if it makes sense. Die using, what's the result of that? Not die, dd. Okay, it's a closure, of course. It's a callback related to the application builder because it was created here in the application builder. So I imagine this is called in the later process of the bootstrapping, because remember in the previous episodes we saw that the bootstrap process doesn't end here, right? Create until here, it doesn't consider the bootstrap finished. Sorry. And I imagine this closure here will be called later in the next step of the bootstrapping, but that's okay. And it's using all those variables, right? And that's the function, right? And the function is checking if the API is a string or array, then it works with the API. Oh, okay. So it basically goes through each API and call this root middleware API. Well, actually, it's registering the roots, right? Yeah. So because you can use this in the web roots file. You can use exactly this. You tell which middleware you want. You define the prefix, the grouping, etc. So it's basically just registering. If it's an array, if it's not an array, then it's also registering, but a group. So if it's a string, it means it's a group, the API string. Why would I want to do that? So I can pass an API. And it defines the group. API prefix. Well, that might have a default value here, right? Prefix API, yeah. So that's okay. But why would I want to just create a group of roots for the API? Is there any default value here as well? API? No. So API, it's Let me just delete this. I'm trying to think of a use case, but let's just do that. Let's just go here and do API, and our group will be API group, right? So when we execute the application, when we try to open app, how do I get the defined groups for root? That we will have to investigate here. Laravel docs. I don't know how to get all the registered roots. Okay, here probably no. Okay, basics probably routing. And the full root view, where's group? Yeah, root groups. Allow you to share root attributes. Okay, yeah, but that's when you define something, you define the group and then you can define the roots inside. But defining just a group, can you use then a root group, for example, to put your root inside that group without the definition of the group and as the parent? Probably, right? That's why we probably have that. So I wanted to check how I get the groups, the defined groups, and it will probably be better to just go to the root. Yeah, facade. So then I will have a here ready, vendor support, facade, root, and okay, get post. Let's just try group. Okay, yeah, that's the definition. We use that to define, but get middleware groups, get binding callbacks, get patterns, get group stack. Is it public? This is static. Yeah. Get group. Yeah, that's only one, but probably that will return what we need. dd root get group stack, and I need the root here, so use eliminate support facades root, right? Let's run this. Oh, we still have that dd here, no more. Okay. We have an error. Let's see what the error is. And Apache, and it will be read write, not access, error. Facade root has not been set. Oh, I'm trying to access facades before they are set, probably. But why does it work on the, maybe they are not using the root, right, in the configuration, the application builder. Yes, it's root. Maybe with routing already calls that. With routing, no. Well, we can call it here because it has to work from here, right? It should work from here as well. But let's try here. Let's just remove this one. I think we have the same error. Would make sense, right? Yeah. Facade root has not been set. Oh, I'm silly. Remember, this is a callback, right? So it has, if we want to check the groups, for example, it has to be here because this probably is called after the facades are set, right? So let's try to call it here because we defined a API group, right? We have it here. So it has to execute this part of the code some time. And now here it should work. So API group failed to open stream, no file or directory. Oh, I see. So in this case, group should be a file. Let me try to check here. Web root. Yeah. See? This is the same case. The web here, it's a file because, see, it's defined here. Roots web. So this, in this case, the group here, it's not the same group that we have in here. Not middlewares, sorry. Root groups. See, this group here, well, probably it probably might be the same method, but it accepts a closure, right? A callback. But when it's a string, then it tries to load the entire file, and then you have roots inside of that. So okay, that makes sense. That makes sense because anything that we pass, we can get the web example for, right? Anything that's inside the roots web.php file will be registered as roots by this group method, because this group method accepts either a string or, sorry, a string, a path for a file, or a callback. The callback, it's when you want to define the functions directly inside the group call, and the file, it's just when you want to use the file. Okay, makes sense. Probably we would be able to understand that if we went into the group function, but it's okay. So we do that. So this is just registering all the API roots, right? Can remove this. The health thing is a string health, root, middleware, web, get health, get. So it's probably registering a health root, right? Yeah. So do we have any health? Oh, we do. Is that something that's always available in Laravel? Huh. Funny, I never saw this page before. Nice. We learned something new. So that's where it's being handled. When this, let me just, I'm curious now. Sorry, GitHub Laravel. Let's just check when this was implemented. So it's into the framework, source, eliminate, and application builder. So foundation, and it's the configuration, application builder, and it is the build routing callback. We will turn on the blame. Build routing callback. Here, health. 4 months ago. Okay, so this is new. I think it's not so new, right? It was also in, oh no, it's only 11. Yeah. Yeah. So it's something new. Is there any pull requests? Yeah. This pull request make sure health endpoint loads even if there's a model binding on the root. Root get user function response. Okay, before this pull request will load user root before the health. Oh, I see. When they say load, they mean answer back as this, which would be confusing because the up needs to be first, otherwise, as this is a variable, this would be confusing for the framework to understand which root to get, right, to answer back. So they made sure the health get registered first. Okay, so health was always there probably, but then they just improved the loading time to avoid that bug. Okay, so enough of this diversion, but we have the web here, and the web it's the same of the API. So if it's an array with specific roots to be registered, it will register one by one, or maybe not. Oh, okay, so the web. All right, so it gives you also the opportunity to pass multiple files. Oh, that's nice. Huh. Okay, that's nice because the system, one of the systems I developed with Laravel, it had a lot of roots, so I started doing includes inside the main web file. Sorry, and that was just a little bit hacky, right? It worked, but I wanted to separate to group my roots, and I created many files and I included them into the main web file. And here you don't need to do that anymore. You can just do web array, for example, right? And you can just register all your files, all your root files. Nice. And if it's real path, it's different defaults, which in this case it would be a file. Then it will register the entire file as inside a group, which is also nice because it creates the groups for you automatically. In I imagine when you were looking into the roots with PHP artisan root list, for example, it will be more organized as well. Nice. I'm just curious. So if it's not a real path, if it's just, oh, of course, if it's not a real path, then it can't do much because it's an array, right? It's the array case. Well, not because it's the array case, because here you are not defining individual roots. You're either passing paths, array of paths to files defining roots, or a path, which will be handled by this one, right? wouldn't be better to do this web equals array web, and then just remove this, because this check, I think it's important, right? Of course, the root middleware also checks that. That's the error we had when we tried to create that root group for the API. It will tell you that's not a file, but I think having it here, probably they want to trigger that warning. But anyway, this could be just like this, right? Yeah. So if we save this and we do, okay, we removed that already. Not up, but just this one. Yeah. So roots web. Welcome. It's here. I think they did that differentiation, the two cases, the extra if, just because they wanted to call root middleware group in any case, if this is a weird string, right? Because if we do something like this, for example, right now, test, and we do this, yeah, it fails without letting us know that you need to pass a file. And if we had the extra conditional here, it will tell you, yeah, see, that the test that you passed, it's not a file or directory. And that, it's probably inside this root middleware group here. I'm just curious, why not then let all the files be checked and provide a feedback? Because if you create if you create an array, then you bypass that error, right? Yeah. And you might want to create an array of roots, right? So I think this, I'm not sure why they did that. Maybe there's a reason, but it feels kind of strange, right? Well, that's it. Let's just move forward. We can take a look at that. I'll take a look at that later. Maybe we can propose something to the community. But that's that. It's working now, right? Yes. And so we register, and then the final thing, two final things are pages. If it's string and it's a path to something, and oh, this is kind of hard coded here, right? The application builder knows about this folio. What is this folio? It's kind of weird because the application builder, so far, it's very generic. It doesn't know about anything else. Of course, it knows about the framework, but the framework, it's abstract, right? This Laravel folio here seems like a package, right? Well, let's read without making some conclusions. Folio. What is this? Powerful page-based router designed to simplify routing in Laravel applications. With Laravel folio, generating route becomes fossilized, creating a blade template within your application. to create a page that is accessible at greeting, just create a greeting. Oh, so it follows the the directory, um, and tries to create a root for each template you have. That I imagine maybe if there are subfolders here, it will impact the path here as well. Probably, right? So to get started, install Folio into your current into your project using the Composer package. So it's a package, and but it's of course it's a package maintained by the Laravel organization, I think. Uh, it's inside Laravel, yeah. And when does that started? It seems new, right? From yeah, February 23. Okay. Either way, it still looks weird that the application builder of Laravel knows about the specific package, but I think that they might need this to register all the folio roots without getting building more complex structure to allow specific code inject roots to be registered, etc. Because they didn't want to do here, because this should be very clean, because this is the thing that the users interact with, right? But they've done hidden, a little bit hidden inside the application builder, and they've done that. They created already some structures to handle customization in the application builder. I saw in other places as well, but in this one they just decided to put the thing here directly, because I think the folio, it has to be installed, not installed, but it has to be part of Laravel, at least the basic thing by default, right? Because it says here install require Laravel folio, but if you don't have folio, is this the current? Yeah. If you don't have Laravel folio, how this is getting loaded? Do I have it? My composer folio? No, I don't. Let's take a look where this folio thing is. Application builder. Okay, Laravel folio. Let's go to the vendor composer, and we saw that in the first or second episode. I think it was the first. We have the static. Yeah, that's it. Right? Yeah. So folio, it should be here. No, it's not here. Weird. Folio. No. So vendor level framework. Where is this? Folio class. Okay, let's do a. How do we get the file name? I don't know. Maybe I will learn this. Get the file name of the PHP class. it's not. I want to find folio, but we could do also this vim folio vendor level. This is just Okay, I have something not saved here. That's why I need to close this window. And now I'll be able to see the middleware. Yeah. How does that get? Oh, I see. Wait. Let's see something here. So folio, string pages, view page, and class exists. Oh, yeah, reading. It's really helpful, right? So if you don't have folio installed, then it doesn't try to call this. Yeah, it's really not, it feels like not a standard thing for Laravel to do, have something specific in the application builder here, like breaking a little bit the abstraction. But yeah, we understand now what's happening here. We're not going to folio right now, maybe later, like in the future, but we understand what's doing here. And then the last thing, it's the callback then this app, and it's just to allow you to do more things after the with routing gets called, right? Not get called, but in the end of the with routing. Oh, not the with routing, but the with routing callback. Oh, okay. So you might want to do things after your routes were registered, loaded, as they say in the pull request. But you want to do just when Laravel finishes, right? Calling this, executing this callback. So there's a callback in the callback, and it's receiving the app. I imagine to do more custom things. Okay. So we finished the with routing, definitely. And then we have the with middleware and with exceptions. We are not going to take a look at them now, otherwise we are not going to get inside this quickly enough. I think we should go inside the handle request. When we have more use cases, we can test those things. And the create, it's just actually just returning the app, right? So if you go to configuration, application builder, the function create, see, it's just returning this app. All right, nice. So now we have a not fully configured, I imagine probably configured but not finished bootstrapping. We have an app here, and that app, it's returning, it's returned to the index, and we'll receive this call handle request, right? So let me take a look at the time. We have, okay, I'll try to split the episode. So this one we will just stop here. We will take a look in the next one how the request it's captured and get inside the handle request. Okay, so I hope you enjoy and you learned something, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.